Okay, and this is public meeting regarding national awareness, regarding national protesting, regarding national filing of violations of criminal offenses against our Attorney General, federal lawsuits, and now we have on the phone, we have Don RUFTY. Don, thank you so much. If you can go ahead.
Okay. Well, I definitely have a point of view in regard to this matter. I believe that this is, in all likelihood, the greatest problem, the biggest problem in the United States, and has been for many years. For over 20 years, I've had essentially the same point of view. It all boils down to the violation of the rights of American citizens, pursuant to U.S. Code Title 18, Section 242. It is as clear as a bell. The lower court judges in these so-called family courts violate the rights of people with great regularity. They have no hesitation in doing so because they feel that they will never have to pay for their crimes. Thus far, that has been exactly the case because they have been protected by the judges over them, which of course makes those judges complicit. It makes them accessories after the fact, guilty of dereliction of duty, obstruction of justice, malfeasance, and misfeasance. So the judiciary is essentially as crooked as a snake. So in my view, the people are not going to receive justice ever from the judiciary, from the judicial branch of government as it stands now. The only way we are going to get any measure of justice from them is by pressure of one sort or another. And for the most part, that pressure must come from another branch of government, the executive branch, and that means President Trump. I believe that history may show him as a man of destiny. He came from out of the blue, way behind in the polls at the last minute, and was elected President of the United States, having never been elected to any other office prior to that. I personally have a belief that I'll share with you maybe sometime as to how that happened. All of a sudden, big surprise.
I have the same. I have the same belief. I already. I have the same belief. Sure you don't have to even say it. I already know. But yes.
Unless I've mentioned this to you before, you would not know. Okay. But at any rate, getting back on track, the public may have to encourage the president as much as possible to emerge as a champion of the American people. As you and I both know, in his inaugural address, he uttered these immortal words, "Never again will the American people be ignored." If he fulfills that promise to America, we're going to win this war.
Yes.
No problem at all. And it will be shortened greatly. He can do that. And I personally pray and hope that he will do that. And if he does, his legacy as a great American president will be ensured.
Yeah.
What could he do that would be better for the American people than exactly that?
Right.
To bring to an end the American Holocaust.
Yes.
This great American nightmare.
Yes.
So I believe that all he has to do is have Jeff Sessions, as Attorney General, to come to the Oval Office for a quick meeting. Wouldn't take over 20 minutes because he's pretty blunt. And just instruct Jeff Sessions, and if Jeff wants to bring the director of the FBI with him, that's fine. It doesn't have to be because the FBI is part of the Justice Department. And instruct him very clearly to investigate, indict, and prosecute the crooked judges. He can tell Jeff that he has boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes of letters from citizens all over this country complaining about these lower court judges and the so-called family courts violating their rights. And he could tell Jeff if he needs any assistance, he can easily put him in touch with leaders in this movement who will provide him with all the evidence he needs.
Yeah.
With many cases, it will be slam dunks because the evidence against these judges is all in the cold record.
Yep.
By the way, I was just talking with a lady yesterday who was this old lady from New York, Yvette Katz, who was, right at the end of the Million Parent March. And I walked along with her. She had this walker, and I just told her, I said, I'm not going anywhere. And so they did stop a time or two, and everybody kind of caught up to them. But she has a denial of jury trial in writing that she is supposed to send to me today. She was clearly denied the right to jury trial and has it in writing. Now, I believe that for this strategy to be implemented well for us, we need a few Rosa Parks type cases. In other words, test cases that can be easily proven from the cold record that our rights have been violated. Either the right to free speech, which happens a lot with these illicit gag orders, the right to jury trial, which is essentially denied to everybody, even when they demand a jury trial, which is guaranteed under the Constitution of the United States and many state constitutions. I know it is in North Carolina, black and white.
That's right.
And the denial of due process. I mean, these are all horrendous rights violations, and under U.S. Code Title 18, Section 242, should qualify any offending judge for a prison sentence. And some of these judges are probably guilty of hundreds, if not thousands, of such crimes. These are the biggest criminals in the country. We are, in essence, habitual criminals engaged in continuous crime. Now, so many people, I believe, in this movement, and I was just discussing this with someone this morning, one of the leaders in this movement, have become sidetracked with a lot of side issues. Ted Fogg is the one I was talking with. And, they're always complaining about how unfriendly the CPS workers are, and the school principal did this, and all kind of extraneous things. But at the end of the day, when it gets right down to where the tire meets the road, it all stems from illicit, rights-violating court orders issued by these crooked judges. That's how CPS has all these kids. That's how they've been able to kidnap the kids and keep them, because of these illicit court orders. The judges are violating the rights of the American people, and we need justice. Donald Trump can't provide that. Now, in the interim, if he does not, it will rely upon public pressure, which is where you in particular come in. You are doing a magnificent job of bringing people together in this movement. And keep it up, because that is very, very necessary. The law is clearly on our side, and the other part of this two-pronged pitchfork is public pressure. And so the way that happens is that it can be implemented by means of Rule 3 of the Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure, which simply states that if a person's rights have been violated, they should submit that complaint in writing. You can't just whisper it into, judge's ear, and you give that in writing to a federal magistrate judge who shall, according to the law, issue a warrant upon the receipt of that complaint. Now, they will be inclined to give a citizen, especially if that person just goes by as lonesome as a lone ranger, to see the federal magistrate judge, the usual brush off. They will not receive justice. My suggestion is that litigant, that citizen who has been offended, whose rights have been violated, be accompanied by 3 silent witnesses. One of the same gender and 2 of the opposite gender. And those witnesses do not have to say a word. Their mere presence with that citizen, as that citizen ends their complaint which should be very carefully prepared, to the federal magistrate judge will register big time in the mind of that federal magistrate judge. He will know those people are there for a reason, and he will know they aren't there for his benefit. And so he will quickly realize that if he gives this person the usual brush off, all of these people are going to go back to whatever groups they came from, and they're probably going to parading around in front of the federal courthouse the next day with signs denouncing him as a criminal, and as well as this little lower court judge who violated their rights to begin with. So he's going to be faced with the dilemma. Do I give him the usual brush off and then have all this wrath come upon myself and my family be embarrassed, and I might even wind up being prosecuted myself, or give him what the law says I should give him? So if he does not, if he chooses not to fulfill his duty as specified by Rule 3, then if he should be out there, they should be prepared in advance to protest in front of the courthouse, and not for a 2-hour event. These cases like this will be very big cases. They came out in support of Rosa Parks in the prior civil rights movement, which was led by Martin Luther King. Such should be the case with that. Now, Martin Luther King, incidentally, used methodology which was not unique to him. It was not original with him. He copied Mahatma Gandhi and the suffragettes. He did what works, and that is exactly what we should do.
Mm-hmm.
We work something that should work for us. In fact, it should be easier for us because we have the internet. For one thing, plus we are more affluent than those people were. Those people were dirt poor. They were lucky to get from state to state to support a protest. It's a lot easier for us.
Absolutely. Oh, hang on.
We have Francesca helping us.
Well, here's where we need to really, really tag team all of us. And if you guys look on the, and anybody that just tuned in, if you missed the beginning of this, we are recording, and I will place this link underneath where everybody said I'm in. Okay, we had, you've seen the amount of notifications that came on that. We're going to title it I'm in, meaning we're all in, we're all involved, we're all together on this. We're going to work with Don on this. We're going to work with each other on this. Anybody that wants to get in, everybody that wants to get their, you know, their hands dirty, get in, get involved. We need you to get involved. We need you to get on the we need to get on the Punish for Protecting advocacy page, sign up, okay? And get deeply involved, because we are going back to the White House, and we're going in the door, and we're going before the president, and that's what we're working towards right now. We want it polished and perfected, but what we're going to need from you guys in order to get this attention is to make sure that you continue to help us bring forth the public awareness that needs to be brought forth so we can help you, so we can present this. And when we go, I want to go with Don, with my core team before the president. And if we only get in before Kelly Ann Conway, that's fine too, or Jeff Sessions. Now, my understanding, Don, because I've talked to other advocates as well, they've already had an 8-hour session with him a couple of months ago. I was actually invited but could not go because I was going through my own ordeal at the time with my son, so I couldn't leave the state. I'm free now because I got permanent sole custody.
No, was this a face-to-face meeting?
Yeah, it was an 8-hour session. It was an 8-hour session, and they went over 4D funding several months ago. Yes. I want to confirm that it was actually Jeff Sessions, though, but I'm pretty sure that's who it was, but it was held right there at the White House. Well, we're gonna get back in. That's not going to be a problem. I don't see that as a problem at all. But I want to have everything that we're doing presented in such a polished manner, presented so that it's like you just said. And we usually, when they give you this kind of an interview, they give you more time, but it is something that can be articulated within 20 minutes to a half an hour. If you know, there and also, correct. And we have all the cases. I mean, we have a wealth of cases that you could probably build the wall with what we have. We could build it with the cases. So that's that's our goal right now. That's our goal. That this is it right there in a nutshell. What we're doing. I feel okay. There's some questions coming up. I want to try to have a hard time getting through here. Okay, hang on a second here. I got Don here. And welcome to the new people that just joined on. We do have you guys on mute right now just because we were having a lot of back noise and we needed to hear Don. So hi, Shar. Hi. More people. I can't see all the names. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. It's getting kind of crazy. Okay. We have some questions here. Okay. Well, so a few people were talking about immunity. There is no such thing as judicial immunity. I'm not even concerned with that. I'm really not even concerned with that. That's been a lie to the American people for way too long. And sadly, people have bought that. We already know that that's not true. Let's see. Still hearing tons of noise. I can't hear. Rhonda said she couldn't hear you, Don. This is recorded, Rhonda, so make sure that you'll be able to hear that because we need you, Rhonda, because you're writing the letter. You see the little girl. Let's see. Ginger, agreed. This is where our money is going. Corruption. Billions of dollars in funding for all except parents. Martin, Jeff Sessions is a lawyer. Martin said Jeff Sessions is a lawyer. Do you want to say anything about that? I have more coming through.
You mean me?
Yeah.
Well, okay. I'll give you a comment that I think fits that question. My son just passed the bar recently, my youngest son, okay? And we were meeting after he graduated from law school. And I'm going to quote him, okay? He said, 24 pissed off citizens will get their attention. Now that actually, unquote, okay? Now that, and he just said that to me privately, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, but that is really true. I remember back in the 90s in Falls River, Massachusetts, they demonstrated that in spades. It was 22 people. It wasn't 22,000. It wasn't 2,200. It wasn't even 222. It was 22 people stood down the court system. The judge sent the SWAT team out. They told them to move to get away from, disband their protests, to go away, and they refused. Well, first they sent the cops out and they refused. Then they sent the SWAT team out. They still refused. And then the judge said, "Okay, well, the jury can see you where you are. Go around to the other side of the building." Okay, so they said, "Okay, we'll do that." They did that. Well, as it turned out, in reality, the jury could not see them where they were originally, but they could see them at a new location. So the judge just let the guy go. This guy was looking to go to jail. Okay, but in the meantime, when they were out there protesting, they had the local newspaper people there, the local radio reporters, and the local TV people there. Okay, they were getting the coverage. 22 people. So, and to top that, when I was in D.C. for the Million Parent March, Mark Young told me they did the same sort of thing with about 4 people, 3 or 4 of them. So, I mean, one person by himself is easily to be ignored. And there was a guy in New York, John Mutari. I used to meet him up in D.C., around the turn of the century at the gatherings we had up there every year. And he would go out and write when Hillary Clinton was the senator. He would write on chalk on her sidewalk in front of her office, and they would arrest him. They arrested this guy. He was just by himself. No one ever went with him. They arrested him about 30 some times.
Unbelievable. Hold on, Don. We lost you because I got a call. Hold on. I'm sorry. It just messed up my whole thing. I may need you to call me back. I have to call you back, Don, because it literally knocked you off. Let me just try it again. Hang on. Try talking again. Let me see if it's working. Don.
Francesca?
Yep, it's back.
Francesca?
Okay. Yep, I hear you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
May I leave the phone for a couple of minutes and be right back?
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. Okay, so guys, if anybody here has a question or something they want to say, put your hand up. I'm going to go through and see Fatima. Okay, I'm going to unmute you right now. And he's on a quick break, so I'll try to answer if I can. Go ahead.
I'm concerned because in my last court hearing, the one that it was my last dependency hearing, I mean, the Attorney General accused me of not being able to parent. at this time and to switch my case into severance and adoption. And then the judge asked him why, and then he said that you see, I have behavioral issues that can endanger my daughter's life, and that I failed to realize that. And so I started crying because of that, because it was like, come on, I did had my other I went to see other therapists and get myself evaluated, and I presented to the court. How can, I mean, why are they, you see, ignoring it? Why do they don't look at it and see other opinions besides just the doctor from that was referred by CPS? I mean, what type of complaint can I put to the attorney generals and also to CPS?
Okay.
Where can I go? What address can I send it to? The
Right.
complaint.
So anybody
Before
that's
my
not
last
familiar
trial?
with the case, the two daughters, right? It's two daughters, right?
One daughter.
One daughter.
One
I'm
daughter.
sorry. Please forgive me. But it false allegations. It's a bunch of nonsense. It's absolutely insane, and it's dragged her for how many months now of this?
Already 22 months.
22 months, and when she sees her, there's bruises too, right? There's been
At
bruises.
one time there was bruises, and now they have prohibited me to bring electrical devices, like cell phones or computers to my visits, because they assume that if I do that, I mean, I cannot take pictures or take video cameras, because or else, I mean, they will suspend my visits, and so I don't want to lose my daughter,
So
because
but the judge did not make a decision on that, which is a good thing. That's a good thing, okay? And did he outright deny it, or did he just not make a decision yet on their request to
he
terminate your?
hasn't made a decision there yet, but they already assigned my last trial, which is going to be in January 17.
Okay, so here's what we need. Here's what we need. I need your exact location of the court. We're going to start working on your case even more too, to bring more public awareness. We have to really try. We're really, really trying to work for Khulud right now because of the pregnancy. And I don't even know if she's giving birth as we speak, to be honest with you. That's how close she's past due. But that's,
yeah, I don't want.
there's an emergency with yours and an emergency with Lisa Knight's and emergencies all over the place. Where are you specifically? Because we need to get court watch into your court when you go.
Yeah, it's over there, the juvenile court in Mesa, Arizona. Let me bring real quickly the paperwork from the address. It's called, let me see, I supposed to have, sorry.
Okay, so what
I'm supposed to have the address,
all
like
of the advocates that are on or listening when this gets replayed on Facebook, I need everybody who's an advocate to write her a letter. I need I need advocacy letters from everybody heading the whole spiel, your organization. Get with her. Let's start pouring in these letters, and we're going to get, when she posts this now, what we're going to do, because this is not, well, actually, this will be both visual and sound. I'm sorry. What we're going to do is we're going to pound the emails, the calls, the whole thing, the whole 9 yards, okay? Because she's only got till January. We really got to get on it, and that's what we need everybody doing.
Actually,
go ahead.
Actually, there's going to be 3 court hearings left. One where CPS in Arizona will present their evidence, and that's going to be January the 3rd. And then mine, where I'm going to present my evidence, and I'm not too sure if it's the 4th or the 5th, somewhere in between that.
Okay, so
and then on the 7th,
but we don't have a lot of time. So you ever hear the saying, take your time, don't take your sweet ass time? Okay, like we got to move. All right, so let me see where. Show us where, because we got to go into another question. Go show us where. We want to just take action. That's what we try to do. Get right to it. So it's going to be.
It's going to be on the Mesa, Arizona. Juvenile court.
Juvenile court.
The juvenile court in Mesa, Arizona.
Juvenile court in Mesa, Arizona. So if you guys can get with Fatima on Facebook, Fatima, Fatima, and then what is your last name, so they can find you on Facebook, so they can get in touch with you to help you with letters and so on in Court Watch.
Blue.
It's going to be under
Blue.
BLUE, okay? You can also watch her on the Punish for Protecting interview as well. And Judging the Judges, I believe, also, right? I think were you on that one too?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go on to the next question. I think Don has something to say. Hold on. Don, did you say you were back?
I'm back.
Did you have something for her?
Well, Steve Sampson is right in Las Vegas. It couldn't be too far away, I guess. And Michael McDonald is right there in Las Vegas. They probably know people in Arizona.
Okay, so we'll reach out. We'll reach out to them. Okay, good, because we need to focus on this.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ryan Swindle is in Arizona, and you're right. It has to be in a case like that, a particular case like that. It has to be the local people. By the way, if anybody has any kind of a court action, or protest within maybe 125, possibly 150 miles of me, say the Charlotte area, I would be happy to go with them, to help out.
Okay, good. Now, Ginger just said to me, I lost it. I just lost it, but I did read it, Ginger. So yes to that. Yes, absolutely. Okay, anybody who wants to help and advocate, anybody that wants to be a chapter leader, chapter leaders we do background checks on. Core chapter leaders that are like tight right in the middle of the group, that's very strict. Chapter leaders, but then advocates, everybody can advocate. We don't even care. Okay, advocate from inside a jail cell. We don't care. Advocates are very urgently needed and important in every state. You court watch, you take notes, you take pictures, you take video footage, you virally expose things. That's what you do as an advocate. You be there for each other. Chapter leaders, background checks, like I said, but that doesn't mean that if you've been in trouble, we still check into it, because we know that there's a lot of false allegations. So don't not come to me if you think I'm going to think you're some bad person or something. That's not the case. We're fighting as an
Okay, Francesca, can you hear me?
Yeah,
this
who
is
is
Antonio.
that? Antonio, go ahead.
Yes, I'm familiar with Fatima, the one that I was told her name is Dolores. With the false accusation that she's talking about, right? They're trying to say that I was her pimp in Arizona, and I've never been to Arizona. I don't have any arrest record or stuff of solicitation, and neither does she. But this is all in her discovery packet from CPS. And the caseworker is saying this also.
Are you talking about Fatima, or are you talking about Dolores?
Fatima. Yeah, Fatima. Fatima Blue? Yes.
Yes.
That's what they're saying. That's the false accusation that she's talking about. Because they're accusing her of being a prostitute, and they're saying that I'm her pimp. And neither one of us have been arrested for anything like that.
And you don't even live there in that area?
No, I live in Georgia. I've never been to Arizona.
I didn't even know this part of the story. I knew it was pretty crazy, but I didn't know it was this bad.
Yes. And they're saying that's part of the other reason why they won't give freedom back to her.
Okay, so we need to save this child, though. We need to work on this. We need to do the memes and all the stuff.
They already.
You have anything to say about this, Don? Are you?
As you mentioned earlier, there are hundreds of thousands of horror stories all over the country. But I think unless we can get the president to move on our behalf, behalf of the American people, to end the American Holocaust, we will need to have these local actions, like you mentioned, with court marchers, people going to support whose rights have been violated, and to help them with whatever they need to do in terms of like filing and they might be violated to defend federal criminal complaints on behalf of that person. But then everybody has to be behind that person in that area. Okay? That's all it will work. And also, even if the president is kind of holding back, waiting, because each one of those victories will push him further and further toward us.
Yeah, and between what we did in DC and then what you've done prior, Don, and others have done, we've greased the wheel big time. We're ready to go. I really feel like it's going to be a quick move to get in there. I see it happening, and what we need the help and the strength of everybody and getting more and more involved and bringing as much public awareness. And this is why it is urgent that these protests continue. Don't stop protesting. Okay? Do anything you can possibly do. Put the pink and blue ribbons on your car. Do anything. Put them on your house. Okay? Put a sign out in front of your house. Get 10 people, 5 people, 2 people, 1 person holding a sign. Okay? Don't think it doesn't mean anything. Believe me, it means something. Okay? And then we post it on Facebook. Blast it on Twitter, on all your little accounts and stuff. Do it. Believe me, it's bringing attention, and I'm seeing all kinds of good stuff happening. Lawsuits are happening now. It's bringing attention. And let me tell you something. I destroyed the judge here in New York. He hated me. He wanted to make an example of me. I have sole custody, permanent, and he's done. He can't even be Supreme Court judge. Okay? So this is a man I thought I was dealing with Satan face to face. Okay? So you know, and I say that, but really it's not a joke. I'm dead serious. Wait till you see my book. So, you know, guys, we're doing something. We are just keep exposing, keep doing those live feeds, you know, keep doing any little thing you can think of. Do it, you know, and weigh out, am I more fearful of what's going to happen to me or what's happening to my children? As soon as you can answer that question, you can go forward. There's no fear in that anymore. Okay? Because it's already happening.
Francesca?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, along the line that you're talking about, you know, just public awareness. Public pressure comes from public scrutiny, and public scrutiny comes from public awareness, and public awareness comes from public education. Now, we have a lot of materials available to us now to educate the public regarding this monumental problem. And there are many of these things that we can put on our own Facebook pages, which in many cases are followed by quite a few people, friends, relatives, and they see these things. Now, there are some things that we probably wouldn't put on our Facebook pages. For instance, strategy sessions and things like that, okay? But as far as the educational materials are concerned, they're available to us, and they're perfectly well suited for public consumption. In fact, something that I wrote, I'm sure you're familiar with it, entitled Travesty and Abomination, President Trump liked on Facebook.
Yeah.
Just asked me for that last night to send her the PDF for that, because before going to the Million Parent March in September, I formatted it so that it could be a bifold handout, just one sheet of paper, printed on both sides as a bifold. It's like 4 little pages, you know. And so she asked me to send it to her last night, and so I said, you'll think this is funny. I said, are you familiar with the expression, I needed it yesterday? And she said, yes, I am. I said, I sent it to you yesterday. I just looked. So, now if you do not have that, I'll be delighted to send it to you, and then people, of course, can get it from you. And this is perfectly well suited for public education. It enables a person who knows nothing about the family court racket to become quite well informed just by reading one piece of paper.
That's right. Martin just said Fatima's juvenile court address is 1810 St. Louis Drive, MESA, Mesa, Arizona, 85210. So you guys know. And Martin, I think we're friends on Facebook. I don't know if you can write me here. And I don't know if you're the Martin that I was slandered, not you specifically, but I was slandered by that crazy Sarah woman who's not Sarah. That's Judy Tinkin. So we just posted her mental health records on Facebook. Yeah. Well, you know, you're going to get these people. It doesn't matter. That doesn't faze me, honestly, guys. It doesn't faze me. I've been dealing with her for a number of years. So, and it's sad actually, because we tried to help her, but, okay.
Hey, Fran.
Yes.
I got a quick question. My dad's computer isn't working right now. He has no sound or any audio like that. Is there a way that you can like send this to his inbox so when he gets a chance he can
It's being
listen to it?
recorded. It's being recorded, and I'm going to post it on Facebook for everybody. And I'm going to post it under the I'm in post original post where everybody joined to come on here. So
Okay.
everybody will get to see it and hear it, and then they can follow suit with it. Matter of fact, today is Wednesday. What's today's date? November 8th. November 8th, Wednesday. So whoever is going to hear this after this, know that we are still moving forward, and we still need your help to follow the instructions on what we're doing here, and to, you know, join the Punished for Protecting National Advocacy Group page. Sign up underneath your state, the plate of your state. Tell us you're in. That's what we're doing. This is what we're doing. It's called I'm In. Okay? So, thanks, Jess. Okay, anybody else have a question? Antonio, you have your hand up. Is that from before, or did you have more? Hold on a minute. Let me unmute you. It's not letting me unmute you. So I guess anybody else have
Now, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead. I didn't know if you had
Okay, yeah, that was from before.
from before. Okay, anybody else?
Yeah.
Thank you, Antonio. Shelly, hang on a minute. Let me unmute you. Okay, it's all yours.
I was wondering, you mentioned something that you have attorneys working here in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Their names?
So I'm not going to disclose it on here because he's a federal attorney, and we're not disclosing his name, but for the very sake that federal attorneys don't show their faces in court, so they can take rear end very discreetly. But we will definitely be happy to get with you, because we want to take all of these cases and put them under one big umbrella, which he's more than willing to do.
Okay, so you can have him add my name?
Well, right now he's specifically working on Melanie Lindman's case, like specifically, and anybody that's in Minnesota, Charlene has been taking a template of like your cases and making a pattern of abuse with them. And then what I want him to do is take over all of them together in one joinder. So when that happens, and he's also financially, he's inexpensive compared to what's out there. And he knows how to fight the system, and he also knows how to, he understands he understands ADA, but he also understands domestic violence and how they're ignoring domestic violence victims and making more victims out of them. He understands that very clearly. So definitely get with me on this, Shelley, because we definitely want to involve you and anybody from Minnesota into something.
Well, yeah, my kids were basically kidnapped.
Yeah, they're all kidnapped. They're all.
I had no chip case, no volunteer parental agreement, and now the county has completely destroyed all of their evidence. But unfortunately, I still have all my papers. And now I'm having the city administrator calling me up and harassing me. And unfortunately, he did not block his cell number. So I know they're getting really nervous because I got a big mouth.
Well, what I can do with you, Shelley, if you want to, like on Facebook, if I can privately give you his information and you can talk to him about a retainer and what he charges and the whole spiel, and I promise you it's very good. You'll be very pleased.
The problem is I am so poor.
Right, I get it. So it's probably better for you to wait on a joinder, which is a lot cheaper, because a joinder, you just kind of join the class by proxy. You just automatically are in, where everybody chips in a little bit and reaches the goal, and it's a lot better that way. And that's what we're working on across the whole country, little by little, but we can't hit every state at the same time. It's impossible. He's one person typing, you know what I mean? And
okay, my background is clean, besides a speeding ticket and no tabs. So
yeah, I read that.
I can do, because this has damaged my children completely.
Yeah.
And by the way, I adopted my children too, to let you know. So I've already had that background, the FBI background and all that stuff. So
awesome. Well, we're going to talk further, definitely, you and I, and you know, I noticed that I'm able to get a little more one-on-one with people when I'm driving somewhere. I try to do a lot of my calls on the way to and from an event because it's so hard for me. So I'm going to try to fit you in the West Virginia trip, either going or coming. I'm actually doing interviews on the way, believe it or not. So we'll be in touch. And this is what I need from people to do sometimes, because we're trying so hard, and delegating work to everybody. I need you guys to reach out to me, not send me long, lengthy things because I don't have time to read it, not send me videos of what something's happening in the next conspiracy or even a prayer thing that goes on for hours because I cannot read it. It doesn't help me and it doesn't help other people. And I don't mean you, but I'm just saying in general. But if you could send me a reminder every once in a while, that helps me because I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot to do that and I'll get to it as soon as I can. That's important because I'm one person and we're all trying, like we have people that are inside reading emails, editing, going through, answering, responding. And that's why we keep building more and more people for a team to get everything that needs to be done and put out emergencies all over the freaking county or state rather. State, all the states. So just stay in touch with me. Melanie's not on right now. I don't have anybody on right now from Minnesota, but we have an unbelievable amount of people. It's a horribly abusive state, and it's specifically I see mothers and children, specifically mothers and children. I haven't actually gotten one call from a dad in that state. So it's
I know a guy
Yeah.
that's going to be going to court from Minnesota. He hasn't seen his children for over a year.
Yeah, no, it's sick. Oh, okay. Well then, we're more than happy because we're both, But so far, I haven't gotten any. I've gotten one mother. I've got a pattern of abuse to moms that are usually in that state are victims of domestic violence.
Oh yes, absolutely correct.
Yeah. So now Pennsylvania, Lori's handling, and you've got actually an unequal. You've got more dads than moms, I think, right? In Pennsylvania. Oh, you. Go ahead.
Actually, with the two most recent additions and one that has stepped away, we're about even.
Okay.
And basically all the cases are pretty much the same. Everybody's case is the same. The only thing that changes is the number of children and the amount of time.
You did just get a success story though, right?
Yes, but that was to no account on my own, hun. That was, he made sure that the OCY and his counselor went into a hearing together. That's how he obtained his kids. So please take my name off of that credit. That was all his doing.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that, but you know what? I didn't know his name either, and I didn't know if it was I was allowed to talk about him at that point either. But that's still.
I would still wait because we still have one hanging in the wind. One more child to bring back. That was only one child. Now we gotta wait for the other one.
But one child is back.
I'm waiting to hear from his mother today. She's supposed to be returning.
That's awesome. Thank you. Anybody else have anything they want to say right now? Put your hand up. Christine. Okay, you're open, Christine.
Fran, I just want to pretty much thank you for everything that you do for all these parents. I mean, we're all going through these struggles, some more difficult than others, but the pain of not having your children at home, everybody experiences the same hurt, restless nights, and to know that somebody is out there advocating all the time and behind the scenes doing things that we don't even see, we are all very appreciative to you.
I appreciate that, and it's not only me, it's all of us, but I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that a lot. Thank you. Thank you so much. Anybody else? Thank you, Christine. Anybody else?
Yeah, I have a quick question for you.
Go ahead.
I was reading something called the Adoption and Safety Families Act, something like that.
Yeah.
What is that exactly?
Say it again. You said adoption what?
And Safety Families Act, something like that. That Bill Clinton signed.
Safe Family Act?
Yes.
Don, do you want to touch that?
This train is bound for Indian Creek.
No. The judge violates people's rights, and each and every time they do that, they are committing felony. And look it up, U.S. Code, 1918, Section 42, and then read Rule 3 of the Rules of Criminal Procedure. They're very short and they're very much to the point. They clearly say that these judges and other people too, other government officials who violate your rights are committing felonies. They need to go to prison. They're not being prosecuted and they need to be prosecuted. And we need to collectively insist upon that. We need to collectively demand that. That's the only thing that's going to bring justice to America, and that is the only thing that is going to end the American Holocaust.
Yeah, actually, Martin just said the State Family Act, and it's a Clinton thing. The whole Clinton thing. Just guys, listen. The Clintons are evil. The Clintons are not your friends. If you don't know that, the Clintons have destroyed this country, and the Clintons, all the sex trafficking, all the murders, all the people that suddenly try to expose them and are found out they're suddenly dead. They had an accident. All this nonsense, no child left behind, all that stuff. Bull crap, full and utter bull crap, and that's what we're overturning. That's the reason Donald Trump became president, because God heard our prayers. You may not like him, you may not think he's perfect, you may not whatever, but trust me, he's not the Clintons. He's not the Clintons. So, Ariano, did you have something?
I want to ask one more question.
Yeah, go ahead. That's great.
As far as a child being put on medications without parental consent, and I sent a letter stating I didn't want my child on any medications, and they have failed. Is that also a violation of my civil rights?
Absolutely.
And parental rights?
It's an absolute violation. First of all, what they've done in the first place is a violation, so everything that comes out of that is a complete and utter violation. Absolutely. They have no right medicating your children, vaccinating your children, none of that. None of it.
They also put my daughter on the birth control without my consent, gave her a shot in the arm.
And how old is she?
Yep.
How old is she again?
17.
Yeah, they're sick. They're sick. You're going to own them by the time this is over. You will own them. Charlene, hang on. I'm going to unmute you. Go ahead.
I got that. You know, they can't even cut your child's hair without your permission in writing. Cannot.
Yep.
You're talking about shots. You're talking about medicine. You're talking about invasion of their body without consent of the parents. If your parental rights were not terminated, they are not allowed to do anything without the parents' consent, and it's got to be written.
And actually, I'm so glad, Lori, you're on, because you told me, and I didn't know the name of it. Wait, let me just find it again, Lori. I didn't know the name of it, Lori, but you said that one of the schools in Pennsylvania, the school, which first of all, that's what it should be in every state, in every county, in all of America. It is illegal for anyone. I don't care who, your child's public school and take them out of class and talk to them without their consent. Okay, but do you remember which one you told me? It was you that told me the camera that said, sorry, that said, that school does not allow them in the school.
Yes, they're not allowed to go into the school as a parent.
No. That CPS isn't allowed in that school.
Oh, no, they go into the schools here. I don't know, maybe that was Tamara.
I think it might have been Tamara. Must have been Tamara, but there is actually, I was shocked because it was Pennsylvania being so corrupt, but there's actually one school in Pennsylvania that will not allow anybody into the school to talk to the kids. They said it's for education only, it's not for this stuff. Okay, and that's how it really by our laws, that is the absolute truth, and it should be heard everywhere. I told the school in Marlboro, and they realize I am 100% right, and they know better. They know better. But people are afraid of me now, so it's kind of cool. I kind of like that power. Okay. Anybody here? Hand up. I'm trying to look here. Oh, Charlene.
Also, they are not allowed to take your child over a state line without permission. Not for vacation, not to go over a bridge. You have to sign a letter that they're allowed over a state line with your child.
Yeah, I mean, and
you need to do is start writing this stuff down in writing and present it.
Yeah.
You're just talking is not going to make an impact. Write it down. The things that you're saying or the things that you're finding that you know they're doing to your child. That has to get written and given to the supervisor and then given to the judge when you go. That's violation.
Yep. Well, they're all violations on all civil liberties and human rights, parental rights, all kinds of rights, God-given rights. And this is why it is absolute treason. And I agree with Don 100%. These judges belong in jail. Nothing short than in jail. So it's up to us, the American people, to make sure that this is about to happen. Okay? So who's with us? Who's in? Anybody want to say? Hang on. I'm going to unmute this. I want to hear
I'm
it.
in.
I want to hear it loud and clear on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
I'm in.
I'm in.
We're in.
That's what we're doing. I'm in. Emphasize it. Blast it out there. Get it all over social media. Emphasize what we're doing. We need to continue to work together. Like I said, I don't know when I'm going to be able to do another public meeting. I will do some interactives where people can join on. If you guys can please get on that post where everybody was joining and let them know what we're doing. I'm going to share this recorded message to that. And now we got our work cut out for us. If you think you had to work before, it's not, it's going to get, it just went on steroids now, just so you guys know. Does anybody else want to add anything else before we close this up?
Say some prayers for next Thursday.
Go ahead, Lori.
I said, say some prayers for next Thursday because we've got more corruption going on in my case, as you know.
Yes. And that's next Thursday, but don't we have a time for that yet?
Pardon?
What was the time, though? I thought the 9 o'clock was...
9:30 a.m.
9:30 a.m. If anybody can advocate in Erie, PA. I can't get out to one that early, unfortunately, from New York.
Why is it so hard to hold these people to the letter of the law? Why are they above the law?
Well, I'll tell you something right now. When you start exposing them, you'll be amazed how quickly they clean up their act because they don't like to be seen. So
Plus, they don't want you to take the case to a higher court. I was told that by my attorney 2 nights ago. I spoke with a woman. Her name is Attorney Hillary Vassell. She is responsible for 2 very, very good articles, which I believe I shared with the group. I'm not sure if I did. I shared with many people, but I actually reached out to her yesterday, and I commended her on her articles because they spell it out. They spell out what parental alienation is. It shows the conflict of co-parenting versus parallel parenting. And she came right out and asked me, she says, what do you believe is the problem? And I basically told her, well, here in the state of Pennsylvania, the problem is these court orders are not being upheld. They're not being enforced. And we have a lack of education. And the lack of education falls between health professionals. It trickles all the way up, all the way down, all over the place. It's all over the place. And meanwhile, our children are suffering. And she agreed with me. And I also said that this family court corruption, and as you call it, Fran, this family court circus, when you do, there will never be a 50-50 shared parenting plan with a person that refuses to follow a court order. Francesca, you personally experienced that, as I have been for the last 4 years. And at this point, I told her my thoughts are to place this. Ow, I got a kitten. Sorry, she climbs up my leg.
Oh, and mine wasn't about following a court order. Mine was about utter abuse that the judges would never protect me or my son. I'm on my 11th order of protection.
History of.
Yeah.
Yep. So basically, I'm saying that this should fall into criminal court at this point. It should not be in family court at all. And I plan on talking to her again soon. I did interest her in Dr. Craig's meeting coming next Wednesday in Harrisburg, and she said she'd check her schedule. But I mean, this is just one more great person to have, involved with everything. And I hope you did reach out to her.
I haven't yet. I need Jessica actually to do that for me if she's still on, or I'll send a message to Jessica. She's been doing all my scheduling now.
It's just so incredible how these people get away with so much and come in and dictate our lives and tell us how to raise our kids and what we're doing wrong, but yet you're doing all this activity and the judge is agreeing with it and they're not being upheld to what the law is. Like,
right, and there's no accountability.
Mind-blowing.
Right.
Well, I mean, that's why that's the reason why we keep doing this and pumping this message, because we are making definite change. I see definite changes that have happened, and it's really been a few short months that we're really exploding this. And look at the attention. I mean, I'm like blown away by it. So, just try to keep positive, continue to, to continue to speak about and expose all the horrible things that they're doing. At the same time, you know, be encouraged, because they're definitely, they're being seen for what they are. You know, I think we need to really emphasize these really, really critical states right now, and start exposing these judges more, which is something we need to start doing, like getting their faces and names out, like in Pennsylvania, in Minnesota, who they are and what they're doing. And I think that what's something that's very powerful is showing the abuse pictures of the children, showing the Saunders and the ACEs research and what it's doing to families. And also, I told Rich actually a little bit ago, this was pretty interesting. We were in Foot Locker, me and my son, the other day, well, Sunday, and he was picking out some stuff, and there was 4 girls there in Foot Locker in the mall, and they knew who I was. They went crazy. Okay, these kids have been through it. They've been, yeah, and it's like, to get these young ones, you know, flipping out, you know, and you're causing a stir, you know, thank you, and this happened to me, and this happened to me. It's really interesting, because it's, you know, a lot of times the kids, like, they say they're going to talk, and then I can't get them out in the public eye. They'll do it to me privately, but then they're afraid. So they're watching, though. They're watching, and this is really good. And that's what I'm trying to encourage all of you guys who haven't had your kids or whatever. Trust me when I tell you, they don't hate you in any way. They want you. They want you. Even with all the I was going to say Stockholm syndrome, and with all the the brainwashing. They know. And let me tell you something. A mother that's a real, genuine drug mother that gets her child taken, and then the kid goes out to adoption and lives with a beautiful family, let's say. So worst case scenario, to a wonderful family. You know, not even that child is looking for that mother all those years, because that came from God. It didn't come from man, you know? So, you know, and this is what breaks my heart, because, you know, even in situations like that, I, of course, want to protect my son from all the drugs and all that stuff that I had to deal with. But at the same time, you have to still realize that there's always that, you know, bond, you know, between, especially, you know, when you grow a child in your womb, you know, hello, you know. And I'm not, you know, trying to pick a side here. That's not what I'm saying. Shut up, Rich.
I saw that, Rich.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, there's that bond, and it's like, you know, it's the poor kids. So, Don, are you still on?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you want to wrap this up?
Yes. Okay. And the that I mentioned previously about these protests in support of a Rosa Parks type case in this locale or that locale, what we are doing is we are reversing what has been done to us. These crooked judges have utilized a divide and conquer strategy against the American people. A single solitary little litigant gets pulled into court and has absolutely no chance whatsoever. It's like throwing a Christian to the lions, because the judge, the lawyers involved, all the CPA people, they're all against that one person, the person that has no chance whatsoever. Even if that person happens to be a legal expert, they're not going to abide by the law. They're going to violate his rights. Yeah. They're going to commit crime against it, okay?
Yep.
So what we're doing, and they've been highly successful in their criminality, goes to the tune of destroying millions of American families. So what we need to do is utilize a divide and conquer strategy against them. In other words, everybody, all the FRAs, meaning the family rights activists and activists and advocates in that area, need to be protesting against that one single solitary lower court crooked family court judge. Yeah. Judge so-and-so. He's a crook. And put all the heat on that one person until they get him indicted and prosecuted. Okay? Yep.
Yep.
That's what we do for us. However, and as some of those cases happen one after the other, it's going to bring President Trump closer and closer and closer to us. That's
right. That's right. Martin, Arizona, they own the system, unchecked judicial power, no juries, oversight of judges by the people. The legal profession is not regulated. I think we can hear you now, Martin. Did you want to talk? Here you go. We hear you.
What these people are doing is completely predictable. This is history repeating itself. The founding fathers were staring at exactly the same thing with King George in 1774. And in 1774, Benjamin Franklin said, nobody drunk or sober ever thought that we would ever break our ties with England. But by 1776, that we did exactly that. And then England did whatever it is that they decided to do. And so that's what we're going to do, is we're going to simply impose our new laws and authorities over these courts, because what we have is unchecked judicial power. They've taken the juries out of the system, and Don Rufty flat out said it. Okay, when they violate your civil rights, the only rights that you have are the ones you're prepared to fight for. And so, it just has to get bad enough. It looks to me like it's bad enough. It's bad enough for me, bad enough for a lot of other people. So we're just not going to tolerate it anymore, and we're just going to simply tell King George what the new laws are, which is our right. Once we have established absolute despotism, okay. So do we have absolute despotism? Okay, yeah, that's easy to say that we do. And after that, we have once that's established, the documents say we have the right and the duty to alter or abolish whatever it is that we see fit to provide for our own safety and happiness. I'm just quoting Jefferson right out of the founding documents. It's law. And so for these guys to say, oh, case law, blah, 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 you can't have a jury, we're not going to listen to your evidence, how can they even call themselves a court?
Right.
That's not even a court. Right. But they can take your children away, they can have you incarcerated. What's that about?
Right. Yep. All sick. That's why I absolutely believe that we should be exercising our right as a nation for citizens arrest across the entire nation and arrest every single last one of these judges and anyone else involved with them, even if it's law enforcement, child protective services, I don't care who they are. They need to be arrested. They're public servants and they're violating our rights, and that's it. And we're a lot larger than they are. There's no question about that. And if we all would come together and do this and pick a day and just do it, at the very least, it's going to make major attention. Even if we don't get them behind bars, it's going to bring major attention, and that's what I want to do. That's what I want to see done. I don't see why we can't do that. I don't see any reason why we can't do that as a nation. They protest violently in the streets, burning down buildings. We're not doing that. We're exercising our rights. And those are our rights, and we should not be infringed on, and we should not be violated against, and our children should not be placed in any kind of danger whatsoever. And for 1 second, if your children have been taken away from you, shoot now and then talk later, hell no. Don't come into my house with CPS and take my kid. They did that to me, and I had nothing involved with CPS. And terrify my child who has nightmares now, okay, and do all this bullcrap to people and then talk about it later. Oh, sorry, we made a big mistake. No. That's not due process of law. You don't come in and steal my TV and then talk about it later because I thought you stole the TV. So you come in and you take a child or take children, and then we'll talk about it later. And then as the days go by, the weeks go by, the months go by, the seconds go by, the years go by, you've caused irreparable logarithmic effects of abuse and risk to the children and to the families. And you've changed their whole entire life structure. You've now medicated kids that you don't even know if they're allergic, okay? You violated religious beliefs because a lot of us don't immunize our kids. Okay, with an educated background as to why we don't immunize our children, not because we just, we're just flakes. Okay, and now you violated that. Like one just got said the flu shot or whatever, putting children on, so that they don't get pregnant. How dare you? How dare you? It's an utter violation of God-given right, complete violation of God-given right. So it's what we have to do, and I hope that everybody who says I'm in is genuinely in. Everybody that said that they want this more than anything, well, this is what we need to do. This is treason, and we need to put a stop to it. We can't talk about it. We can't wait till next year's March. This is something we got to do right now. And I hope everybody is ready to do it.
I'm saving mine for tomorrow.
Yep. Okay, so I'm going to be interviewing Christine tomorrow. Her daughters are YouTube sensations. And I'm going to be interviewing her tomorrow and what happened to her daughters. Absolutely crazy, especially with what I see with these vulgar song lyrics. And I see 9-year-olds and 10-year-olds singing with passion some of the most filthiest words you ever want to hear. And I would be embarrassed, okay? These kids are singing and nobody's calling CPS on these kids on, you know, but her kids who did absolutely nothing. You have wait till you hear this story tomorrow, okay? So we're going to expose it tomorrow as I'm driving to West Virginia. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. By the way, is Connie able to get on that or no?
I messaged her. She hasn't messaged back yet, but. And for those of you who know, I did make a GoFundMe account. It was taken down, I guess, because I was going to use that money to retain an attorney. The attorney that I am trying to retain is Connie Rigali, who does definitely fight against DCS and uphold them to the letter of the law and the judge.
She's great.
So she is appalled at what she sees. She read my case file. All my civil rights have been violated and I was false imprisoned. So that's my goal. I'm trying to work towards that. We don't have all that money to pour into an attorney, and DCS is aware of that, and they take advantage that we don't have that type of money to afford attorneys to fight back. But with every breath inside of me, I will be wealthy, and so will my daughters when this is all said and done and wrapped up.
Now, how much is the goal again for Connie?
$3,000 to retain her.
3,000 is not bad, guys, if everybody chips in. And that's what I said. If we can get, $5 from everybody to get this thing started, we'll have to figure out another way to get this to her. Maybe just do like a PayPal thing online.
I have a PayPal. If people do want my PayPal, they can message me on Facebook. You can get a hold of me.
When we interview you tomorrow, we're going to do it again. We're going to post your PayPal account so people can donate. God, $1. If 5,000 people give $1 to her, it's not, this is what you do, guys. This is stuff that we need to do. $5, $1. You might think you're not doing something, but you're doing something. You really are.
And anything over the 3,000 that I make, I will either, help others that need the attorney. I will not use what I don't need, and I will help other families also.
That's what we do. That's what we do. So, okay, cool. So we'll get right on that. You know what you do? Get your PayPal out there, share it, post, put like a picture up, tell them what you need, and we'll share it on my page. Everybody share it on your page. Everybody put $1 or $5. It's not asking for too much. Money does grow. It can grow if you just help a little bit. A little tiny bit goes a long way. Okay. And if we can do that for everybody, like even right now, I've still got Kimmy, and she's in prison in York, Pennsylvania. If you guys can reach out to her, if you guys can go visit her, if you can give some money to commissary, I've done it. You guys can all do it. Just do what you can. Every little bit helps. It helps them just to be encouraged that somebody's out there thinking about them, caring about them. Okay? It's a long.
And one day soon, I'm going to tell you, Fran, I'm going to be sitting there with you, and we're going to reach out and we're going to help your team, me, and we're going to help so many families.
Well, you can start now because we need it now. And once we get to where we're going, by the way, we're going to start needing a lot of help doing rehousing kids, and this work will never end. So let's get the first nut first, and we got a lot of work ahead of us after that. So we definitely accept it. We take your help right now.
Where are you from, Christine?
I'm in Tennessee. I'm actually in Nashville.
Yeah.
Okay. We've got a missing child in Tennessee.
Yeah, so we hook you guys up, and we'll work on that one. Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up. Dawn, anything else for closing remarks? Thank you so much. We really appreciate all that, Dawn, and let's work closely, guys. We'll have to figure out a way to get Dawn involved more with our team as far as hooking this up for the White House, our next presentation. To work something out, because it's very difficult for me to do it, but we'll figure something out here to work with Dawn. And anybody that's listening to this, if you didn't get to be in the live, if you're hearing this, just remember that today is November 8th. And we're proceeding forward with this. And anybody else that has any input they want to add to this, you can do that and help us by going to Punish for Protecting Advocacy Networking Group page on Facebook. Sign up underneath your state. Make sure you go to your state, not just anywhere. We're trying to get this organization as simple as possible. And we thank you for everybody joining together to do all the different things that we are doing that we just spoke about here in this meeting. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you all.
Thank you, Fran. Thank you, Dawn.
Much. All right.
Thank you, everybody. Good luck.
Thank you.